This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Over 2 million men worldwide choose Manscaped for all their below-the-waist needs. For those that love the Lawnmower 3.0, well, I got news for you. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The new trimmer even allows you to customize your trim all through additional guards lengths, sizes 1 through 4. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish, even features a hot foil stamp, black chrome Manscaped logo. Show your more off loud and proud. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code StateOfSaints, and you will save 20% off of the Lawnmower 4.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com. Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be giving our final thoughts about the Week 3 game. The New Orleans Saints got the victory over the New England Patriots by a score of 28-13. And we're going to be talking about what have we learned from that victory. Also, we're going to be talking about Drew Brees and his comments that he made on Football Night in America about the Saints offense, and answering the question, and feel free to do so throughout the show, does Sean Payton trust Jameis Winston? But thank you to all those in the chat right now. Thank you so much for those that are filing in. If you like the show, if you enjoy the show, please hit the like button and subscribe if you have not already. We're about 85 subscribers away from 7,000. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to please subscribe to the channel so we can reach that goal of 7,000. I want to reach that goal by the end of the week. And hopefully with those that have not subscribed already, we can reach that feat. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the game. I noticed yesterday when I was checking out the State of the Saints podcast, I really didn't go through the X's and O's and really focus too much on the stats. I got kind of riled up because of some of the comments that I seen, when people were talking about the team as a whole. And, that particular topic made me extremely emotional, because I just feel like it was a lot of hypocrisy going on. But we're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the game itself, what the Saints have taught us. First off, the Saints have taught us that they can win in a variety of ways. The defense is really good this season. They went into the season with a lot of question marks. And we as fans were wondering to ourselves, can the Saints defense muster up levels of success? We didn't think going into the season the offense would have some issues that they're dealing with right now. Our main concern was the issues, the linebacker room, the secondary, right? The defensive end position, interior linemen. All those positions were question marks. But now we see that the Saints are really loaded on the defensive side of the ball, and they're the least of our problems, okay? But they did a really good job on yesterday. If you're watching this show on a Monday, they forced 3 turnovers in the game, 3 interceptions, one from Malcolm Jenkins, P.J. Williams, and Marshawn Lattimore. So they're getting turnovers. And one thing that I have to say that I feel like a lot of us aren't paying that much attention to is the fact that the New Orleans Saints added Chris Richard to this defensive room. And you all know, if you've been following me for a while, you know how much respect I have for Chris Richard. I think that he's an outstanding coach. I think he's an outstanding defensive mind. And the fact that this guy is not a head coach in the National Football League is mind blowing to me. But I feel like, in my opinion, it's going to be one of those situations where he might fly under the radar yet again. And when people start looking at the Saints defense and how it vastly improved, they're going to start looking at Dennis Allen and not Chris Richard. But the good thing about it is, most likely, if Dennis Allen gets another coaching opportunity like he did when he coached the Raiders, I think that Chris Richard is going to take his place as defensive coordinator, and I think every Saints fan will still be excited about that. Number two is the fact that coaching matters. Last week versus the Carolina Panthers, the Saints were missing about 7 or 8 coaches on the sidelines. There's 6 or 7 different philosophies and mind frames and thought patterns that were not there. And you had a lot of people stretching themselves thin, trying to come up with a game plan to be formidable versus the Carolina Panthers. But now we have majority of those coaches back on the sidelines. They're able to adjust during the game, and we've seen how that paid dividends. So it was good. Another thing that we learned, that the Saints are trying to put emphasis on the run, which is something that we as Saints fans have wanted for a very long time. I can't remember how many times I've said that I wish the Saints run the ball more. So the fact that they're actually running the ball and not just having Alvin Kamara, come out of the backfield catching passes, but more so running in between the tackles and have him to wear down the defense along with Tony Jones Jr. and sprinkling a little bit of Taysom Hill in there with his RPO action. I like how the Saints are trying to structure their offense, putting emphasis on the run. Now, I do feel like the Saints may need to add another running back to the room. I think maybe somebody like Dwayne Washington maybe can get some carries. I want to see the New Orleans Saints really emphasize this ground and pound game to set up the play action for Jameis Winston and allow that to work for him, because we know that Jameis Winston is a really good play action quarterback. What we also learned is that the Saints offense is still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to come up with an identity. And on Football Night in America, former New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees talked a little bit about the Saints offense and some of the issues that they're facing. Check it out.
Defensively, I think they're playing outstanding. Offensively, I don't think they have an identity right now. We know who Alvin Kamara is, and we know that the Saints want to establish the run game with Alvin Kamara. But who are they throwing the ball to? What does the passing game look like? Now, there's a lot of new faces. There's a lot of young players. Michael Thomas is out. Yeah. Traquan Smith is out. Jared Cook no longer there. Emmanuel Sanders no longer there. So you've got all these young players who don't have a whole lot of experience playing with a new quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience with them.
So as you can see, Drew Brees really, let everybody know that the Saints are going through a little bit of a transition. And I think us as fans, we have to understand that too. And I understand that we're, used to a certain type of offensive scheme or offensive game plan and, putting up points and throwing for a bunch of yards. But I just think in order for us to get to that point, it's going to take some time. And I think sometimes we have a tendency of forgetting that even the great Drew Brees, it took him some time to develop as a quarterback in the Sean Payton system. And, I got some stats right here that I want to read to you all. This was back in 2006. This was the first 3 games for Drew Brees. And I got it right here, man. I want people to understand this. The first game, he had 170 yards, and he threw the ball. He completed 16 passes. He threw the ball. He threw it 30 times. And then, of course, he had a 350-yard game, against the Green Bay Packers, who, really struggled defensively. I think if you followed the Green Bay Packers during this time, when Don Capers was there, they really struggled, as a defense, and they were allowing a lot of big plays to take place. So that wasn't too much of a surprise there. And then you have the Atlanta Falcons game where he threw for 191 yards. So looking at some of these games, I think we have to understand that it's a process, okay? It's a process, learning the system, developing chemistry with your wide receivers, and, in order for you to be a formidable offense. So I just think that the Saints are just trying to figure it out, and I just think that we just need to be a little bit patient as a fan base. But I am going to be opening up the phone lines here on this edition of the State of the Saints podcast. to get your take on the team. You can talk about some of the issues that you have with the team. You can talk about the game that took place in week 3. You can talk about Drew Brees' comments or anything that's on your mind right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link down in the chat. But in the meantime, I'm going to read some of your comments. And once again, thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. And it really means a lot to me that you all are here. But let me start. I'll go ahead and let's start with Sammy here. Sammy says, takeaways. Tony Jones needs to be involved throughout the entire game. Troutman and Pete are hurting more than helping. Taysom roles needs to be increased. His Wildcat role is predictable. He runs. Yeah, I mean, it's a tad bit predictable, and I know sometimes it can get a little bit boring. But nevertheless, I think that the Saints are probably going to start opening it up for Taysom Hill because I think they're going to have to. But I do feel like the New Orleans Saints are kind of saving him because they do consider him as the backup quarterback. And based on him being with the New Orleans Saints as long as he have, they feel like he would be the main guy that can come in if something was to happen to Jameis in order for him to run the offense. And you don't want to risk him getting hurt and then losing Jameis in the same time. So I think it's more of a strategic standpoint that he's not, out there running so many plays and doing different type of offensive innovative plays. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Stroll down a little bit to Quinterio. Quinterio says, "Who that? I'm in the house. Appreciate you for being here." And Frank says, defense, defense, defense. I'm loving it. So first, we're going to go to Keen Arthur. Keen Arthur, thank you so much for being a part of the Saints podcast. Really appreciate it, man. What do you got?
Man, what's going on with you, bro?
Man, how you
First
doing?
of all, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Anybody that could challenge me, but I think we're gonna rock the Giants next week. Let me tell you why. Other than the fact that they look snake bitten, and Danny Dimes might be dropping all that change, you heard me? But but the energy from the crowd, bro, just off the strength that we coming back home,
right?
That crowd gonna blow the roof off that place, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And week to week, the Saints ain't doing nothing but getting healthier and healthier.
Right.
I think we are more closer to the Saints team that handled Green Bay than the Saints of week 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
good point.
I want people to pay attention to something. Sean Payton is a mastermind, and being a mastermind is not just about what you're putting on the field, but what you're keeping off the field. Right. And what I mean by that is, watch how that offense looks post bye week. You know what I'm saying? As we get healthier, as Michael Thomas come back. You know what I'm saying? Right. As Kenny get a little bit more acclimated and the young receivers start picking up that playbook. You know what I mean? It's going to be like giving a cold cup to a kid. You ain't going to know how to act.
Yeah.
So I expect things to open up a whole lot for them other receivers. Because let's be honest, TJ, right now, Marquez Callaway is probably catching #1 corner smoke.
Yep.
And he can't really do nothing with it.
Yeah, that's true.
No fault of his own. He's just a young rookie. And Stephon Gilmore, he's gonna lock you up. Like, he's an experienced veteran corner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I really think we're gonna see a whole nother team post bye week.
Yeah.
More explosive.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna take some time, man. I mean, it takes time for guys to develop chemistry, and also just for a new quarterback to get situated in the Sean Payton system. I mean, it's a very complex system, and I don't expect any quarterback. I don't care if it was Jameis or anybody else to just come in and just be throwing the ball all over the place and just find success right away. I mean, you have players that always talk all the time about how complex the Saints' offensive scheme is. That's why when you see a lot of wide receivers get signed, you don't see them during the first week because it takes them a couple weeks in order for them to get acclimated enough to be formidable. Even when Kenny Stills going into his second week, he wasn't on the field that much. You probably seen him maybe like 3 or 4 times. So Kenny Stills, who got drafted by the Saints, you know what I'm saying, who probably understands some of the offensive philosophies of New Orleans. I mean, it took him some time, and this guy's a seasoned veteran. So that tells you everything that you need to know about this team and how hard it is to play in the Saints offense under Sean Payton. But Keen Arthur, go ahead, man.
My bad. I don't want to do that. But let me ask you something. Do you think what's going on with Roby? Like, from what I understand, Paulson Debo is just playing well. That's why he got the nod. But do you think we still need to find a way to get him on the field too?
I think that's gonna come with time, and I really believe that the New Orleans Saints really didn't expect Paulson Adebo to catch on as quickly as he did. It's not a
Right.
surprise to me. I think that this kid was really smart, and I've been saying that for weeks. But I just think that they probably knew that he was good, but they probably didn't know exactly what they had at the time. And then you look at some of the teams in the NFC South, man. I mean, you can never have too many good corners out there, man. And the Saints aren't even really that deep into the division just yet, man. And you got to have respect for those guys that you're going to play. I mean, you got to play Tampa. You got to play Carolina again. You got to play Atlanta a couple of times. They got some good receivers out there. So you can never have too many receivers. And not to mention, man, a couple of teams that you have in the NFC East. I mean, we can talk about and laugh at those guys, but they got some good receivers out there, man. Cowboys got good receivers. Philly got some good receivers out there. So you can never have too many receivers, man, that can line up and man in all different type of ways. But it's a good problem to have, Keen Arthur, that you have two guys that can come in there at any time and be able to neutralize a part of the field and also understand assignments. So, but I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see him as time goes on. We're probably going to be more so in the nickel. And also just transitioning in case somebody needs to come off of the field. But he's going to be there, no doubt about it.
Last thing I'm going to say, TJ, and I'm gone. I want to address the Hoot Nation real quick. Man, y'all need to calm down. Like, for real, bro. Y'all need to calm down. If Jameis forced that ball into tight windows and coverage and stuff like that, and he throw a pick, you're going to be saying he sucks. But you complain about him holding on to the ball and taking sacks. The boy is doing what you're supposed to do. I am supposed to hold the ball or try to throw it away or just take the sack and live another down if my receiver can't get no separation. You hear me?
Right.
You want me to force the ball into between three defenders?
Nah.
You're going to be mad if I do. So that's all I got to say. Who that nation? Calm down. Just a little bit. Just tell me. You hear me? And get loose when the crowd get loose.
Yeah. But I just think they need to calm down. But, I mean, I think I take him taking sacks and throwing the ball away any day over him throwing interceptions because that's really going to put your team behind the 8 ball. Keen Arthur, thank you so much for your time, man. Appreciate you calling on the job, and thank you for listening, man. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man. Yeah, man. That's Keen Arthur, man. That's a good point right there. We got to be patient, and I get it. All those years of offensive success and watching this team with all different type of offensive innovations and watching Drew Brees throw for 300 plus yards, 3 and 4 touchdowns. I get we feel like that's part of the norm. But anytime that you have like a transition on a team and you lose somebody of that type of significance, you're going to notice, a drop off at that's the most important position on the field, which is the quarterback. So you're going to see a drop off, and it's going to take some time for the new quarterback to come in. And even if, he does come in, I mean, he may not have the same skill set as a Drew Brees or, I use the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love may not have the same skill set as Aaron Rodgers when they decide to move on from him. So it's going to take some time for him to get acclimated to the offense, Sean Payton to understand him to and vice versa. So I just say we just got to be patient, man. And I understand that patience is not a lot of our strong suits, but we don't have a choice. And it could be a lot worse, man. We can be losing a lot more games than we're winning. I'm going to go to Josh. Josh, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Is my voice coming through clear?
You're just fine, man. I can hear you. What you got for us?
Okay, so before I get into that, I got a fan request for you, TJ.
Well, what's that?
Okay, I know I'm putting you on the spot because we're live on air and everything, but okay, so you know how I was homeless and I graduated college last year and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're finally doing an in-person graduation ceremony in about 2 weeks.
Right.
It's going to be at the football stadium and everything, so it's going to be a big moment. My mom's coming in from Milwaukee and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I could get you to make me like a quick 30-second like congratulations video, just something real quick. Just say like congratulations, I graduated, whatever you want to say in just like that 30 seconds. I would love that, man.
Okay, man. You got it, man. There's no doubt about it. You got it.
Thanks, man.
I'll make sure I do that for you. Nope, no problem, man. No problem.
Yeah, Jameis, he's good, man. Like, and he's better than what people are saying he is. And I'm not talking about the media. I'm talking about the New Orleans fans right now. King Arthur, was absolutely correct in what he just said here.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of good out of Jameis because I was like paying really close attention to him this time, right?
Right.
That man is actually surprisingly accurate when he's like on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not as accurate as Drew Brees, but nobody ever will ever be as accurate as Drew Brees again. That's just not going to happen.
That's true.
Not in the Saints, not in the Packers, not nowhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Jameis, like I said, he's going to have his growing pains. He's going to have like his 3 or 4 interceptions games this year because he hasn't worked out his kinks on the field yet. So he has to go through those growing pains. But
Right.
he's going to take us somewhere, man. Like he's going to get us Super Bowl within 2 to 3 years for sure. But everybody wants like 100% success now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just like somebody who's just learning how. Let's say you're just learning how to box, and you go to the gym to learn how to box, and you've been training for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden you want to fight Mike Tyson. Then you fight Mike Tyson, and you lose, and then you're mad that you didn't beat Mike Tyson. Well, James
Right.
James has a ways to go till he gets to Mike Tyson. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's true,
But
man.
he'll get there because he's got the talent to get there. But one thing I
Yeah.
wanted to address with you, TJ, I said in these comments,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have workhorse backs. That's the problem. We have speed backs. We have slip between the tackles backs. So we
Yeah.
don't have workhorse backs that can just take hits on play after play after play. So our running
Right.
game is limited in that sense. So we cannot be a team that is totally dependent on our running game. Our running game has to be good, but it has to be a complement to the overall game. So
Right.
no matter what, we have to step up that receiving game. And I know that's going to happen when Michael Thomas gets back, but I just don't see a situation where we can depend on the run game in and game out. So that's just my
Right.
opinion. But given that we don't have like a 250-pound back, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, I don't see that, but I'll let you like respond to that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I agree with you that we don't have that. And, because we don't have that, you counteract that by 3 different styles of running backs. I look at like when I talked about the 49ers a couple of years ago. I mean, they didn't have power backs. It was a bunch, yeah, like, they had Coleman out there who was more of a shifty back who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Raheem Mostert, he was a person that, kind of ran between the tackles, kind of similar to Tony Jones. And then you probably had somebody like Deebo Samuels or something like that they used to put back there, to be able to like run jet sweeps and stuff like that and be like a little bit of a battering ram. It was about offensive innovation and creating different type of offensive looks that work in your favor. And I just think that's going to be the recipe for success as of right now. You know what I'm saying? And then like once you get your wide receiver back like Michael Thomas, Traquan Smith, it will open up the offense and create, those opportunities. But regardless, I mean, teams buckle down in playoff times. And if you don't have a good, potent running game, to be able to counteract, like a good, solid defense, you might be in trouble. So I do think that has cost the Saints in the past. Is one of the main issues how the Saints found success to go to that Super Bowl when it was ranked like in the top 5 in rushing. So I think they need to go back and go back to those times. I really feel that would be beneficial to them so they can, have different ways to win. You don't have to worry about throwing the ball all over the place. You can count on, methodical drives like how you put the game away against New England. So I think that would really help the New Orleans Saints down the stretch.
Yeah, like a
But
50-50 run pass game. But hey, I want to ask you I have to ask you one more thing, TJ, because I got to get your opinion on this. This is not about the Saints, but I want to know what your thoughts are on that freaking augmented reality Panther hologram that the Carolina Panthers came out last week. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Well, I thought it was pretty cool, man. I think that, and I have to applaud them for trying to be innovative, you know what I'm saying? Trying to do something that's different. I mean, look, if it gets their fan base riled up and excited, I ain't got no problem with that. I give them props for, what I'm saying, trying something different. It looked a little weird, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just walking on the field like that, but it got more positive reviews than negative from the fan base. I mean, they've been talking about that around here quite a bit. So, I mean, if it gets their fans riled up and excited, why not? I mean, you're probably going to see other teams try to do the same thing.
I just wondered what your reaction to it was, man. I looked at that like I was 2 things. I was really I thought really super cool, right? Because it was a cool thing.
Yeah, it was.
But it's also creepy because governments can use technology like that to screw with citizens in all kinds of ways. You know what I mean? But it's true, man.
It's true. I mean, you got a good point on that, man. You got a good point. I mean, it makes you really think about that type of stuff too.
But yeah, I'll let you get your next call, TJ. I appreciate you accepting my fan request, and I
No
appreciate
problem.
you just taking my call, brother.
No problem, man. I'll make sure I send that to you in your email, man. But thank you so much, Josh.
Well,
You take it
you
easy,
got till
man.
October 9th, so it doesn't have to be tonight.
Okay, but I'll make sure that I do that for you, man. And congratulations to you again. I'm glad that you'll get that opportunity, man, because going to college and finishing up, man, you want to walk across that stage. So I'm glad that you're going to get that opportunity.
Well, yeah, they're doing it at the stadium too, at the football stadium where the
Man, that's
Cyclones
awesome.
play.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations to you again, man. And I'm definitely going to do that for you. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
All right, take it easy, man. Yeah, man. Congratulations to him, man. That's a great moment right there. Being able to walk across the stage, and hear your name called. It's nothing like it. I see people, graduate from college and stuff like that. They get their degree in the mail. It's nothing like how you just walk across the stage after all those years, all that money you spent. I won't hear my name. I won't hear my full government name. You know what I'm saying? I won't hear first, middle, and last name. That's a great. That's a great honor right there. That's a moment that forever stick with me for real. Gonna go to Chosen. Chosen, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's going on, TJ?
Man, I'm doing just fine, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. And what you got for us, man?
Yeah, first off, man, I want to say thanks, man, for allowing me to be a moderator on the show. It's
No problem, man. No
truly,
problem.
I love the show. I respect the show, and I'm pretty sure a lot of a lot of people who check it out do as well, man. So shout out
Right.
to y'all.
Yeah.
I want to address the Who That Nation, man. Last week, man, some couple comments I didn't really sit too well with me, man. Regards of our field goal kicker, or should I say our former field goal kicker? I don't know if they released them or not, but our kicker Roses, man. Look, man, I understand we winning, but I don't want us to get into the habit of just because we winning, we don't address issues. We have to address them. We have to address them. You know what I'm saying? Because then we become hypocritical of situations, and we become just like these other fair weather fans, and that's not what we want. Who That Nation, man, because that's what makes us better. That's what makes Bill Belichick better. Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, those guys could be, especially Nick Saban. Nick Saban could be up 50 points, bro.
Yeah.
And if he sees something he don't like, he calling the guys out. He's not gonna say, "Well, we up 50. It's a slap on the wrist." No, you gonna sit your butt down. You gonna run. I'm gonna get on your tail, and you gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point.
It's like we need to start as accountable whether we winning or losing. That's what separates the goods and from the greats and the Joes from the pros, man. Like you have to be held accountable every time. You need that Greg Popovich, that old school fundamental football coaching, and you need that hard discipline, because what happens is we get too relaxed, and come playoff season, that one mistake we didn't practice on cost us the whole season. You know what I'm saying? So it's the little stuff, man. We need to take care of the little stuff before it become a big problem. It don't matter if we up by 2 or up by 20 or up by 200. You know what I'm saying? We need to address the little stuff. Do not be complacent while we winning. Don't overlook stuff while we winning. I don't care. We need to always look for mistakes. Always look for ways to improve. Never be satisfied. Never settle. Like never settle. That's need to be our theme this year. We never gonna settle. I don't care who we blow out or how good the game was. We need to work on it, work on it, work on it. Because we will fall into that trap, TJ, man. We'll get lazy. We'll get too cocky. Oh man, that's cool. We got this person. Drew is not here to bail us out. And I like the fact that the defense is playing like that. We need to play like don't nobody got your back but you. You need to play like your back against the wall every week. Every week. Don't let up. Don't take your foot off the gas. Don't let up. Don't get too cocky. Don't get too cute. Man, you got to make sure you're on your A game until that clock hits zero, man. And back in the film room, go back to practice and bring over that same mentality. So that's pretty much what I want to say, man. I just want us the Saints to stay disciplined and stay hungry, bro. Don't get too complacent. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm loving this defense. And Jameis, he gonna get it. It's still early. I'm just checking out the season as a whole. I'm just keeping my eye on that playoff spot, man, because that NFC West, they fight.
Yeah, they fight, man. That's tough division right there.
Right. So I feel like that win against the Packers gonna help us down in the end when it comes down to. I feel like it's gonna be a couple tiebreakers at the end of the year that's gonna determine these playoff seeds. But that's all I got, guys. Let's not get too relaxed. Let's still find the mistakes and find ways to get better, even when we winning, man. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Chosen. I mean, yeah, you can never get too complacent. and be satisfied. That's what, that's what gets you beat. You know what I'm saying? Not addressing those issues. I definitely agree with you on that. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the comment. And man, you already know, man, I respect the heck out of you, you know what I'm saying? And you always support me. And I thank you for that, man. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me and, you know what I'm saying, watching the show and telling people about the show and stuff like that. And also giving your takes on it too. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. All right.
All right. Take care. All right. Want to acknowledge King Arthur. Thank you very much for the $5. Says TJ, I graduated from Payne College. We wanted to cut up and sing a school chant, but they silenced us and said they hold our degree if they did. First off, man, that look, they can't hold your degree. Okay, they tell you all the time. It's like when I graduated from Carver High School in New Orleans, right? So people riled up, excited. We gonna hold your diploma. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You can't hold my diploma, man. Like, look, I ain't gotta listen to you no more. You know what I'm saying? Look, I already signed the paper. Okay, they just trying to make sure that they try to keep things in order, but they can't keep your degree, man. Like, you better not keep my degree. If I'm current, I don't owe you nothing. The bursar office ain't calling me. Guess what, man? You better give me my diploma for real. You can't stop that. I'm gonna go to Justin. Justin, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Congratulations to King Arthur.
Yeah,
and I was just gonna piggyback a little bit off the other guy just came off.
Chosen. You talking about Chosen?
Chosen, yeah. Because I ain't been in a minute. No. But I'm gonna say this. I was offensive lineman in high school. I was offensive lineman, right. And I know we most of our starters keep getting hurt. I understand that.
Right.
But one person, me, I look at every last one of them. Right. You know who I'm about to pick. You kind of know who I always say. My boy Andrew Pete.
Oh man. My goodness.
That boy pulled and got smashed in the backfield. And I mean, I look at these vets. I mean, most of the vets, you done been in the system. You got the next man up. I think you should be coaching the other player and being a role model. And Andrews, he's been in the system for how long?
I'd say about 6 years, right? It's about his 6th year in the league.
Right.
Or 7, maybe.
He have his good and cold moment. I ain't forgive him, but when we need him the most time, like most of them runs, I know they said we need to be more efficient with the run game. We do, but it starts. You can't do nothing if your offensive line ain't coming off the ball every snap when they getting blew off the line,
right?
And then you ain't making no. We are missing Aaron McCord. I get you that boy came in after Matt's on gone. He learned the system quickly, but you got Caesar. He don't know as much, but he's been playing guard. But as much they don't understand the alignment and calling those looses and right, slide left, right, and zone. Those are more. They are very, very, very important. Because if you miss any type of block, like the last couple of weeks, I watched almost a defense. I watched our opposing defense. They doing delay blitzes every time they get Jameis. And Jameis is not so much Jameis. I don't want people keep talking about Jameis. No, Jameis when he gets there, if you ain't picking up that lava, like old boy said on any given Sunday, you gotta move the lava. You gotta pick up the backside backers. You gotta be able to pick them up. If they are not picking that outside man, if nobody's not trying to pick that outside man up, yeah, James gonna end up making a mistake. He gonna end up making a mistake. You gotta make sure he's comfortable. You gotta make him comfortable back there. And so that's another reason. Everybody missing that. The receiver's not getting separation. No, as soon as he getting back there, somebody's in his face. If it ain't coming through the guard, if you ain't looking, if they ain't really paying attention, if it ain't coming from the outside, it's coming from the guards. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm coming from. It's coming from the guard from the center. It ain't coming from our tackles, because our tackles do pretty good. I like James Hurst. I like what Ramchick does. But it's when it's coming with the interior and the outside, they get that's where they get us at. And so if you're not paying attention, only thing James is not Drew. Drew, you used to get that thing out of his hand quick. You ain't had time. You ain't had to get it. You ain't had time to get it. But James, he'll get that.
Yeah.
Because some of them throws, if he would have zipped it on in there, okay, you got it. You got a good 5 or 10 yards. I mean, and then so they just gotta be patient. You gotta be patient with the process. But once everybody come back healthy, I see a lot of them gonna be on injured reserve in a couple more weeks. They're coming back. I'm going to the Giants game. Okay. I'm going. That's for my birthday weekend, so I'm going.
That's great, man.
So I'm going to the game, and I'm gonna see. I know they say, "Oh, that's a pancake game." I don't take no game like that. So we could stink it up real bad.
Exactly.
Because they defense can play now. They defense can play.
Yeah.
We can't sit up here taking it like that. Oh, that's just a pancake. No, they can play. Danny Dine's gonna do what he do, but we do have a good defense. I'm glad the defense what they did. That's the point. We was missing last week. People were like, "Oh, the New Orleans Saints just took a hit." No, we were missing some key people last week. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, our lockdown slot person. We were missing basically the majority of the defense. We had most of the second string in there second and third string trying to hold it down. They did as much as they could. When you think about it, but the rematch is coming. Don't worry about it. Everybody will be back healthy. I would love to see, Lord have mercy, I would love to see what the heck Traquan gonna do when all these folks come back. Because what did you used to say? Availability? What did you used to say?
Yeah. I mean, the best ability is availability. You got to be available in order for you to be, out there and, help the team out. Yeah, I just think that, man, some guys are just snake bitten. You know what I'm saying? They're not bad players, but they just get a little string of the bad luck. And I think that he play a really good role. You know what I'm saying, for what he actually does. It's not like people asking him to be Michael Thomas or anything like that. But I do think that he's a solid receiver. You know what I'm saying? I think that he can make some things work, and he's a really good blocker. You know what I'm saying? I think that the Saints are really missing his blocking ability, when Alvin Kamara runs those stretch plays and those toss plays, to set that, to be able to set the, the sideline, push the cornerbacks back in order for Alvin Kamara to get some yards in space. So I think that he does a really good job at what people expect for him. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a solid receiver. But Justin, man, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for for your comments, and call back anytime, man. I hope you enjoy the game this coming weekend.
All right, thank you, man. One more thing before I leave. So after this game, ain't we got to bye?
No, after this game, we go to Washington, go to DC.
Okay.
Then after Washington, then we have to bye, followed by a Monday Night Football matchup against Seattle. So
So we probably, like I said, we probably get some more people back by then.
Yeah. But man, thank you so much, Justin. Appreciate those comments, man. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, look, the offensive line, they leave a lot to be desired. And even from, I have to be honest, even from Ryan Ramczyk, a guy who I respect a lot. I mean, he has not been playing up to his standards, and I get it, like it's different. I mean, Drew Brees had that clock in his head. And it's been so many times where, we watch this footage of Drew Brees and, he'll throw the football and then all of a sudden he's shifting his shoulders. Cause I mean, he's identifying, you know what I'm saying? Like his first read, second read, and he finishes up, so if, if the first read isn't there, he's looking at second read, third read. If it ain't there, he's throwing it at somebody's feet because he understands, like, I'm wasting time here. So a lot of those sacks, that those offensive linemen probably would have been given up with Drew didn't happen because Drew was getting rid of the football. But holding on to the ball too long and waiting for wide receivers to break off their routes, that can lead to sacks. And the best offensive line can look like slow. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, the best offensive line is supposed to hold between 3 to 4 seconds. You're supposed to have that ball out your hand, by that time. I feel like if you're holding on to the ball all day long and you getting sacked, that's not on the offensive line. That's on you. And there's been times where he does hold the ball too long, and it makes the offensive line look suspect when they're not, because that's not what their job is. Their job is to hold, you know what I'm saying, for 3 to 5 seconds, and you both have that ball out your hand. And if you're not, then I don't feel like that's fair for us to, criticize the offensive line. But before we get to Jerry, I want to thank our sponsors here on the State of the Saints podcast. I want to give a special shout out to manscaped.com, the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints. That's all one word in lowercase letters, State of Saints, and you will save 20% off of your purchase. And also for this week, we want to thank the fine folks at CBDX.com. CBX.com is not your average CBD company. We've all tried CBD, or maybe some of us haven't. None of us, it's not like anything else. It's the real deal. CBDX is the real deal. And CBDX.com ships right to your front door. Right now, the listeners of the State of the Saints podcast gets 20% off of CBDX.com merchandise. You use the promo code SOS. So I want to thank the fine folks at CBDX.com. Right now, they're sponsoring the State of the Saints podcast for this week. So shouts out to them. I know we got a lot of CBD users out there. I know a lot of people use it for medical purposes. Some people use it for medicinal purposes. You know what I'm saying? But this is a very credible company. You know what I'm saying? They legit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, be somebody at the bank. You know what I'm saying? They hop in that car. You feel me? But CBDX.com, man, y'all check them out. Good solid company right there, man. Good products. We're gonna go to Jerry. Jerry, what's going on, man?
What's good, TJ Jones, the host
of
the State of the Saints podcast.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, bro?
Man, nothing much, man. I'm enjoying the show. Just want to listen to the Who Dat Nation, what you all have to say. I'm just trying to sit back, man, and just let everybody have their moments, man. So what do you think about the game, man, or anything else you want to talk about? Feel free. The floor is yours, man.
I do. Look, let me tell you something. Before this game on Sunday, last week, I almost didn't feel like coming on the show after that loss to Carolina.
Yeah.
After what the Saints did on Sunday, dude, I was happy.
Yeah.
I was very happy what they did on Sunday. Really.
Yeah.
Very happy.
I was excited too, Jerry, because it shows you that, number one, this team has a lot of pride in itself, because they had an embarrassing loss and they were able to bounce back, and they really limit those mistakes, man. Like they didn't make we seen the mistakes in week 2. We didn't see the same thing happen in week 3. And as a team that's very prideful and really pay attention to details.
I agree with you, TJ. But before I give my analysts, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Who that to everybody? I hope everybody is starting up their week on the right note after the Saints win on Sunday. Right. But I want to give a very, very special shout out to one of our queens in the chat. Of course, I'm talking about Miss Tyra, T Mama Smacker Smith.
All right.
I see she's in the chat tonight. So blessings to you, T Mama. Know we all love you. I did mention to you so many times in the chat that that God brought you through, and He's not through with you yet.
Still got
a long way to go. So So blessings out to you. I'm glad you're doing okay. So we all praying for you. We love you.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Tyra, out there in Florida. Glad that she's okay. I know she got in a little bit of a fender bender last week, but I'm just glad that she's okay. She's fine and she's back with us, man. That's the important thing. So shouts out to her, and I'm glad that you said that, Jerry, because this is not just a show where people just come on there. I mean, we consider ourselves as a family. I mean, I see some of the same people all the time in the chat. My mom says all the time, like, she can easily watch on Facebook, but she loves the YouTube community and the people that she can be able to interact with. And that's the real deal right there, man. So I appreciate everybody. And I'm glad that she's okay.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said we all family here. We love our Saints, but when it comes to like people who haven't, those that were like in a car accident, lost a leg or lost an arm, or these type of situations, the entire Who Dat Nation, including myself, we are all there for them. We praying for them every day. Even those that served in the military.
Yeah.
I salute each and every one of y'all out there. Those that was in the military. So
Yeah, no
big
doubt.
ups to you.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Josh and Jesus. I know he was on the line. So congratulations on his success. We all behind you, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it, man. I'm happy for him. Congratulations to him. Great moment. You know what I'm saying? Walking across that stage, that's a great moment.
It
But
is.
Jerry, what's your overall take about the game? I'm sorry. What was your overall take of the game?
No, it's all right. I see Miss Tara had a question in the chat. She said, "What's going on with these Philadelphia Eagles?" I said, "I don't know. All the thing I know is they getting their butts kicked." I think just not long ago, Dallas just scored a touchdown. So I don't know what's up with Philadelphia. So I can't. I got nothing for that answer.
Yeah.
I got nothing for that question.
I'm not even watching the game, man. I mean, I know that was on.
No.
I mean, I'm just not. I won't say I'm not interested. I mean, I like Monday Night Football. I'm a football fan. But I mean, they're a young team, and it's gonna take them some time to figure it out.
Look, I'm just back and forth. I'm watching Monday Night Football and watching Monday Night Raw. So I'm flipping channels back and forth.
Hey, man, that sounds like a perfect Monday night to me, man. That sounds like a perfect Monday night.
Hey, it don't matter. Look, it don't matter if it's Monday Night Football or Monday Night Raw. You already know I'm already on lock.
Exactly.
But on the game Sunday, man, what more can I say about this defense, man? This defense showed up, and they was on fire on Sunday. I'm talking about left and right.
Yeah.
Especially with that secondary, because them guys caught 3 interceptions. All 3 of them come from Mac Jones. All 3 of them. Of course, I'm talking about P.J. Williams. I'm talking about Malcolm Jenkins and Marshawn Lattimore.
Right.
Those man and Paulson Adebo and that secondary and the rest of those guys. Oh my God.
Yeah, they hitting
what
out
more
there,
can
man.
I say about this defense, man? And now that's a good side right there. But I want to give my I know some people like it and some people don't. Of course, I'm talking about that Jameis Winston pass to Marquez Callaway for that touchdown before halftime. I gotta say, I just told the WDN chat line earlier this evening that whether people like it or whether they don't, I only got 2 words to say about that. They scored.
Yeah.
They scored. That's all. Look, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. If they love it, fine. If they don't, oh well. They scored.
Yeah.
So be happy about it.
I mean, look, I'm glad that it did. I'm glad it didn't resort to a turnover. But still, man, I mean, you gotta. I get what he was doing, but I mean, just more times than not, those type of plays don't always end up in your favor. I mean, that was more of, a testament to how, what I'm saying, like how aware Marquez Callaway is, because I mean, Callaway went down up there and snatched it out of the air. So that's something that, I mean, Callaway's been making plays all season, what I'm saying, like since preseason. So I mean, it just shows you like how, what I'm saying, how good he is, and way to bail out your quarterback, man. I mean, I know Sean Payton wasn't happy about it. He was not happy at all.
But all like we always say all the time, a win is a win, but a touchdown is a touchdown. So be happy.
Exactly. I have no problem with that whatsoever,
that's all
man.
I got, TJ. That's all I got, bro.
Yeah. I look, but Jared, look, I appreciate you, your comments and everything like that, and and also your thoughts on the Saints, man. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for calling in. And feel free to call back anytime, man.
Anytime, TJ. And you have yourself a good week. And once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Also, special shout out to all the Saints streams out there, guys like Big Q and Hoodie Jube and WDN chat line, B&G Breakdown Podcast, Smokeless YT, all those great people, man. I mean, hey,
that's
I
out
mean,
to him, man.
and everybody in the chat, man. I love you all so much because the OG loves you all so much, and there's absolutely nothing y'all can do about it. I love coming on here and talking New Orleans Saints football with y'all week after week, whether we win or we lose. I'm always here to brighten everybody's day up and make everybody happy, even if the Saints win or not.
Yeah.
We are in this thing together as a family. I love you all so much, and there's absolutely nothing y'all can do about it. God bless you all. I love you all so freaking much. And that's all
man.
I got.
That comes from the OG. That comes from the OG, Jerry. Thank you so much, man. And I mean, I echo the sentiments, man. I love you, man, and so many of the other listeners of the State of the Saints podcast. And you know, man, you've been with me since day one, and I appreciate the heck out of you, man.
Day one-ist.
Yeah, man, definitely
like the Usos.
Day one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
definitely was definitely was the fourth subscriber of the channel. I can remember that because I know the number one subscriber was myself, number two subscriber was my mama, and the third subscriber was my big brother EJ Jones, who is on the show every now and then. So TJ, thank you so much.
I'm holding up that one finger. I'm holding up that one finger, TJ.
Right, we the ones. We the ones.
We number one, baby.
Yeah, Jerry. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Take care. We the ones. That's a wrestling reference for those that may not know. You know, if you're a Roman Reigns fan and you're a wrestling fan, you know who we're talking about. Before I get to Tim, man, out there in the great white north of Canada, let me read a few of the few comments, man. I don't want to neglect the comments too much, but feel free to comment. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to feel free to chime in. Says I love you all to the moon and back. I think Jameis can have a field day on Sunday. We have to address our wide receivers getting open in separation, to say the least. Thank you, OG. Let me see. Blessings to you, Tyra. You go, baby. Girl, who that, baby? Let's see. When Ayamada, Thomas, and Davenport get back, we will be unbeatable. I don't know about unbeatable, but we definitely going to be much better defensively. Let me see. What's your assessment of Mac Jones from yesterday? He played like a rookie. He played like he was inexperienced. I think that he's going to be a really good, solid quarterback. But I mean, he's a rookie, man. And when you go up against a team that, that has, really good defense, I mean, quarterbacks are going to struggle. I mean, we're seeing that, right? Zach Wilson struggling. Justin Fields struggling. I mean, these guys are going to struggle, man. Their best games are ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like when you're young and inexperienced and you're still learning the speed of the NFL, it's going to take you some time. Half of Philly teams is hurt. It's boring, TJ. I guess we're talking about the Cowboy game here. We reached that point. We talking about them slow Cowboys. But all of a sudden, they win a few games. Now they're going to go to the Super Bowl only to get for their fans to get their hearts ripped out, around week 13 or 14. But we're going to go to Tim. Tim, how you doing, man?
TJ Jones, the host.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
The State of the Saints podcast. I'm good, man. I have my camera off right now because I'm working out. So,
that's fine. It's fine, man. Get your swole on, man. Get your swole on, man. No problem.
We tried out here. We tried. You know what it is. Oh my gosh, man. It's good to hear from you, bro.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Thank you, man. Thank you for using the State of the Saints podcast as some workout audio, man. So really do appreciate that.
I have to, absolutely. Like, just hearing Saints fans, their emotion is like one of the funniest and hypest things for me while I work it out. But I wanted to say real quickly, just want to shout out to Tara. Good to hear that she's back. She's back home. She's healthy. And also Joshua, congratulations on his graduation. Yeah. And my man, Jerry Porter, honestly, I got to say this. The Saints need to win the Super Bowl for nobody else but him. Because he's been such a diehard Saints fan that I swear he's deserved. I've seen him in your podcast, Elias, and Ross Jackson's, and obviously he's been all over the place.
Man, yeah, everywhere.
But in terms of the game, honestly, TJ, I guess I get say three things.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, first things first. What was our record last year at this point?
I want to say it was 2-1 still. I think we were
1-2.
1-2. Okay.
We won our first game against the Buccaneers, and then lost to back-to-back.
To the Raiders.
Raiders and the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers. Okay, yeah.
And Drew Brees was our quarterback. The only person that we were missing was Michael Thomas. But yet, we're 2-1. Our quarterback, yes, it's not Drew Brees, and yet people are thinking that the ship has sunk. let's truly take that in. I'm just like, we actually have a winning record right now. This is what we expected. You talked about it in the offseason. You talked about it since May. We are not going to get Drew Brees 2.0. We're not even going to get a Russell Wilson. Yes, we got a quarterback who can throw the ball, but this is a man who's trying to get a new identity on a new team with a new head coach. So the fact that we're winning, we have a winning record right now, is something, and obviously, like Chosen said, we definitely need to be critiquing everything that we're doing because that's how we play winning football all the way till February. But let's not start screaming like it's over. Like I love the Saints fans because when we win, we're going to the Super Bowl. If we lose, we're picking in the top 10.
For real. The most emotional fan base I've ever seen, man. Like we definitely got stock market emotions and who that nation.
Yeah, I know. And I like, obviously, like, it's for me, like, it's what drew me to the Saints because, like, I'm telling you, man, the emotion of the team, even just listening to Demario Davis today, like, during the interviews, he almost had Amy Just in tears, just talking about what the Saints, what coming back home means to the team and to the city, you know? So it's Saints, it's Saints through and through forever, but I just want to let the fans know, guys, relax. Half the team's not even here yet. And we're still on above 500 team right now. So, like, I know everybody's saying, "Oh, things are going to change when Michael Thomas is going to comes back." Trust me, there's still going to be some mistakes, interceptions. We're still going to have moments where we're like, "Oh, how did Michael Thomas not get?" Like, that's still gonna happen. Right. So, like, I think we should be preparing ourselves now for those moments, but still look towards our head coach, our coaching staff, because they see what you and I see. You know what I mean? Like they're not blind to the mistakes. They're not blind to the wide receivers not getting open. Hence the reason we got Kenny Stills, somebody who can be a deep threat, who can create separation. But I was going to ask you this. Why do you think we don't use Deontay Harris a lot more? Like, is it just because his route running is not as good because he's more of a returner? Or, like, I feel like Deontay Harris doesn't get – I know Marcus Callaway is the wide receiver number one, but do you know, like what could be the reasons you think they're not using Deontay Harris a lot more in the wide receiver department?
I don't know. I would be honest. I really don't know. I mean, I've been saying this for weeks. This guy's a difference maker. You know, you put this guy in space, you put this guy on a jet sweep. This dude turned nothing into something. It was like one play. I want to say the kick of the Patriots, like kicked the ball like all the way back. You know what I'm saying? To about the 6. And I mean, he had like, you know what I'm saying, defenders like all up on him. And he still turned that into 23 yards. And after that, they ain't kicked to that dude no more.
They kicked him six.
No more.
We just watched the Rams game with Deshaun Jackson. And I'm like, this is literally our Deontay. Like, this is our Deontay Harris. You watch Tyreek Hill. This is our, like, we have a speedy wide receiver who can be used in space. And I'm just thinking, like, obviously, like, you're still trying to find a way for Jameis to get more acclimated to the wide receiver group and better communication. But I'm just like, even if it's just like a quick toss to him, he can make he can make 10 yards out of nothing. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. That's like my one thing that I'm still clueless about. But like, I still trust the team. Yeah, I still trust the team. And like, the Giants game is going to be an exciting thing. Like, them coming back to New Orleans, the Giants of all teams to come back. So we're going to beat Tom Brady's team. Then we're going to hopefully beat Eli Manning's team. It just, it has a nice ring to it. So I hope, obviously, we come away with that dub next week. God willing.
I really do, man. You know, like, it's going to be so much emotion inside of that Superdome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's going to take a Herculean effort by the Giants in order for them to beat the Saints. I'm sorry. Like, these guys going to be so overcome with emotion. Like, they can't lose that game. They can't. They can't lose that game. Like,
for real.
I feel like this wrong place, wrong time. Like, if they lose, it would shock the heck out of me. And I'm talking about like them winning like emphatically. You know what I'm saying? Like it is like that's the way I feel about it. But Tim, thank you so much,
Yeah.
man, and thank you for giving your comments in the middle of your workout, man. And good luck to you. And call back anytime, my friend.
TJ, shouts out to your mom for giving you the greatest name on the planet. You already know.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, you already know, man. The greatest name. But Tim, thank you, man.
Take care,
take it easy.
brother.
All right, you too. Yeah, man. No doubt about it. Shouts out to him, man. Out there in Canada, man. Great White North, man. Shouts out to him. Let's go to Sammy. Sammy, thank you so much for being a part of the State of Saints podcast. And like to know what you think, man. What are your thoughts?
Well, I would say it's I've been a lifelong Saints fan. I've seen him go through, Hazlitt. I've seen him Ditka. I was at the very first game that Sean Payton ever coached. It was also the first game for Drew Brees and the Super Bowl champion crew. It was a young team.
Right.
When you look at that, I think as Saints fans, we have to temper our expectations and our time frame.
Right.
This team, when I look back to that game in Cleveland, Sean's first game, they won the game much like they're winning now.
Right.
It wasn't the way we remember Drew Brees, in 2011 teams, Super Bowl teams.
Right.
A team has to evolve. And right now what we're doing is, the coaching staff is figuring out who they have, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and they'll build around that.
Yep.
Well, I think we need to be patient. It's not going to look like Drew Brees. If you look at Jameis Winston, he's a totally different guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it and I've made comments on here, a million times. I think there's a shift here. The defense is now the catalyst. The offense is cast in a situation where we're playing field position. We're going to get our scores, but it's not going to look the same as it has over the last couple of years. So we have to, as Saints fans, get used to watching a different style of football.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. And Sammy, I mean, look, you can attest to this. I mean, you're a Saints historian. You've been rolling with the team for a long time. I mean, you remember when Jim Haslett was there. I mean, the Saints, the defense was their calling card. And the offense was just as anemic. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, Sean Payton comes along, and it basically just shifts, right? We had a really good offense, you know what I'm saying, like as time grew on, and we had a defense that couldn't stop traffic with a stop sign. Right. But now it's like, now I feel like we should have an appreciation, because any team will tell you, any quarterback to a new to a system or a young rookie quarterback, their best friend is a good defense. So imagine if the Saints had a defense like 2013 where they, you know what I'm saying, couldn't stop nobody. Imagine that. It would be a whole lot worse. If you combine that with how the offense is trying to find their way, it would be a disaster. They would not be 2-1. They'll be 0-3. So I think that people are looking at this incredibly wrong. I mean, because we know as the time goes on, Sean Payton is going to figure it out. He's going to find guys that can put them in positions to succeed. And if you have defense continuously getting healthy and playing lights out, then guess what? Some of these games that we are wondering, are we going to win? We're going to be wondering how much did we win by? You know what I'm saying? And quite honest with you, I feel good for the exception of that Carolina game. We knew that the Saints were going to win by the beginning of the third quarter, most likely. You know what I'm saying? So it's much better than watching some of them games where we just wondering, you know what I'm saying, are they going to make a mistake and the other team going to get the ball back only for the defense to surrender points. I'm okay with that, Sammy. I'm excited about the defense. I think they're going to get together offensively, but it's good to know that the defense is the calling card right now.
Absolutely. I will say this about the Carolina game too. I think it can't be understated. Everyone says, well, the offensive line looked terrible. This, and this. You got to realize that 5 offensive coaches were out. So it was on Sean Payton to put in the install.
Right.
Most of us, me included, do not know the work that goes into a week of preparing for a team when it comes to breaking down films and being in those individual rooms.
Yep.
If you're the head coach, you can't be in the offensive line room, the tight end room, the receiver room, the running back room. So they went in a little unprepared and underprepared, and we're not accustomed to seeing that. It showed up on the field. So I don't want to say you just throw that game away. But I think, under all the circumstances the Saints are in right now, 5 coaches being gone, I think that showed up on the field.
Yeah. I mean, it is also the same way, Sammy. I mean, look, it's just one of those games where you lose, but I don't feel like that game is one of those games where you figure out what type of team you have. It's almost like if you're judging a game, based on like the Saints playing the Denver Broncos, it's like you judging the Denver Broncos. They didn't have any quarterbacks. So how can you judge that? You know what I'm saying? How can you judge that based on, all those guys that's missing? How you going to generate points if you don't have a quarterback that can throw the football? So I think that you look at what they actually have in the secondary that was lost with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Lattimore, and we've seen how these two guys are difference makers. You had Bradley Roby that just got off the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like he came up into the facility, bus ticket in hand, and went out there and played. So it was just one of those situations where the stars were aligned for the Carolina Panthers to win that football game. And sometimes, the Carolina Panthers aren't a terrible football team, as we can see. So if you give them any type of competitive advantage, they'll be able to capitalize on that. So judging the team based on what happened in Carolina, I feel like that would be totally unfair.
Well, division teams always play us tough. I mean, we know that. Doesn't matter if it's Atlanta. They might win 3 games a year, but one of them may be against the Saints. The other thing I would say in regards to the offenses, I mean, you look at the personnel we're dealing with right now, from a wide receiver standpoint, probably our best wide receiver is Harris, who last year was our 4th. Okay. So Emmanuel Sanders isn't there, Mike Thomas, Traquan. So you're asking Jameis to take over this team.
Right.
And he's running it with guys he doesn't know. We don't really know what they're doing. We're going to get some of these guys back. From a running back's perspective, Tony Jones, great. I would say this. I think we see him a lot early in the games. He's very effective, but then for some reason he tends to disappear throughout the game.
Yeah.
And we don't see him as often. We see Kamara getting a heavy dose of the load. And so hopefully that changes. I think Taysom needs to get involved as the tight end, as the running back, even if he's not carrying the ball, but to get him in those positions and make the defense kind of honor him and pay some attention to him to open some things up. But I think this offense is going to be quite different. One thing I've noticed that scares me a little with Jameis is he's not real good with the short pass, with these screens. And what happens is when he misses high. Yeah, I've seen Alvin Kamara twice this year kind of get put in harm's way. So maybe something we'll get away from a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's why it's like if you see a quarterback that can throw a really good screen, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. Man. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. Like I think like if I'm looking at like based on like who I see on the quarterback room for the Saints, the best screen thrower is Ian Book. Like Ian Book, awesome. Like he can like those screen passes that he threw during preseason looked really, really good. Yeah. But it's a timing thing. And you definitely you cannot throw it too high because if your running back is turned around, you know what I'm saying, he got his hands up, you expose his rib cage. You know what I'm saying? And somebody like comes there, and next thing you know, you're going to see like one of those shots that Reggie Bush he got against the Eagles. Exactly. You got to be able to protect. You got to be able to protect your running back. And I do agree. Some of those screen passes, you need to put them down just a tad bit. And he's making Alvin Kamara work a little bit too hard to catch those passes because I mean it's a, like you said, it's an art. I mean, you catch that ball, you know what I'm saying, and get it in stride on the move. So hopefully, as time goes on, and they practice that and repetition, with repetition and everything like that. Hopefully, they'll be on the same page. Sammy, you got anything else, man?
Well, I would say this: we got to go a little easier on the offensive line. We're used to seeing, our eyes tell us that the offensive line's held up a little bit better. Right. I would tell you, if you really break it down, Drew Brees knew 1, 2, 3, that clock in his head, and the ball was out.
Yes.
He was a little more adept at going through that progression and knowing 1, 2, 3, get rid of the ball. Jameis is about the age Brees was when Brees came to the Saints with about the same amount of experience. So we got to realize that was an evolution. Jameis is going to get there. If Sean didn't trust him, he wouldn't be our starting quarterback.
Right.
He's coaching him. He's grooming him. He's going to get there. He's learning who Jameis is too. This is his first time watching him in live action. So the best is yet to come. Yeah. I would expect after the bye week, when we get Onyemata back, we get Mike Thomas back. Hey, listen, 2-1 at this point, going home for the first game in the Dome in front of a crowd in a couple years.
Right.
I'm liking 3-1 here. I think going into the bye week 6, I think we're going to be in the mix. I think we're going to be in the playoffs, and that's a good place to be in with the adversity we faced where we're at right now.
Absolutely.
I'm
just glad. Yeah, no problem, Sammy. Thank you so much, man. It's a great take, and I appreciate it. Call back anytime.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, as long as we're in a mix right now, I mean, 2-1. Carolina Panthers, they got the lead right now. They're undefeated, but I mean, we're right there with Tampa, and the Falcons are the Falcons, so we should be okay. As long as we continue to maintain success, keep on, playing good defense, not beating ourselves, we should be just fine. I'm gonna go to Aaron, man. Aaron, how you doing?
Yo, TJ, what it do, dude?
How you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here, man. He's the host of the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast, available on YouTube right now, man. So, Aaron, what do you think about the Saints right now, man? The floor is yours. Feel free to talk about anything you feel.
Well, first of all, I want to talk about the defense this time around, specifically the linebackers. They imposed their will and they left their stamp on this entire game and every aspect of the game that requires them, from special teams to defense. We know Demario Davis was always going to be a playmaker, but the question was, who after him is going to step up and make plays? Yeah. Andrew Dowell imposed his will on special teams, coming in clutch to give the Saints great field position with a block. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's able to do that, if he can do it on a consistent basis, then it limits the amount of space James has to work with, and we already know how deadly he is in the red zone. So shouts out to Andrew Dowell, a guy that's an undrafted linebacker making plays. I mean, that's not getting praised enough.
Right.
Pete Werner getting 34 snaps over Zach Bond's 7. I said this from the get-go. The moment we drafted him, he needs to be the weak side linebacker over Zach Bond. And that's not a knock to Zach Bond. It's not his fault. It's just he's more natural at the position. Zach Bond is coming from a system where he rushed the quarterback as an outside linebacker. He's more suited to a Green Bay defense or a Chicago defense.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that they're trying to convert him into something he's not, it's a head scratcher. I don't know why Dennis Allen just doesn't see that, but hopefully Pete Werner in his great debut today can convince Dennis Allen that, okay, maybe I can just rotate Quan Alexander and Pete Werner at that spot and just play Zach Bond in base and special teams. Caden Ellis, really good at rushing the quarterback. I expect to see Zach Bond do that, but Caden Ellis over the last 2 games has really stressed the offensive backfield for respective quarterbacks. Even though it didn't show up in week 2 in Sam Darnold, it really transitioned over into week 3 of rookie quarterback Matt Jones. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does against a more mobile quarterback like Daniel Jones. The linebackers, and they're not even fully healthy. Let's not get remember, guys, these guys are not fully healthy. Quan's still on IR. Chase Hansen is still on IR. So we have yet to see this linebacker core play 100% strength, and that's a scary thought for opposing offenses. Right. The defensive line, the defensive ends, Cameron Jordan had a good day yesterday. He didn't get a sack, but he was a force to be reckoned with in terms of getting pressures, who leads the team in that. He leads the team also in QB hits, and he had 3 tackles for loss, 4 tackles that went for insufficient gains. That's the type of play I'd like to see out of Cam Jordan. He may not have finished home a handful of times, but when you can affect the quarterback and you force him to make error throws, I'll take that over a sack any day of the week.
Right.
Peyton Turner, he's looking pretty sharp. He had a limited stats because of his elbow injury, but week 2, his debut was pretty solid. But Taylor Passing, that's one of the most underrated offseason signings for the Saints this year. I did not see this type of production out of Taylor Passing at all. And if he continues to play like this, he may make Marcus Davenport obsolete. And that's a hot take, but we'll see how that pans out. We'll see how that pans out down the line. But I'm just really singing the praises of Taylor Passing because he does so much in terms of versatility. He can stop the run. He can get out to the quarterback. He can play inside and outside. That's a much needed value that the Chiefs let go, and he has more sacks on the year than their star defensive tackle and Chris Jones.
Yeah.
And from the way their defense is playing over there right now, starting at the 1-2 record, they could have used 10 on passing mill. They can use a 10 on passing mill right now.
They definitely can use his services.
The secondary is turned into a strength for the New Orleans Saints. Not just because Marshawn Lattimore has turned it on early in the year. You know, he's been graded as as the best corner through 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Paulson Adebo is turning heads, even though he's had like 2 touchdowns on him in the past 2 weeks, he's given up less than 50 yards, regardless of who he's lined up against. And honestly, you'll take that. I'll take that. You know, some of those touchdowns, especially against Kendrick Bourne, that was just a freak play waiting to happen. And that's a 50-50 ball. That's a prayer.
Yep.
So Kendrick Bourne got lucky. So I'm very happy to see that Paulson Adebo is getting his shot against his number 2 receivers, and I can't wait to see what he does against someone like Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is going to be a good challenge for a guy like Paulson Adebo. And speaking of receivers, now it's time. Now it's time to get into Jameis Winston. I'm not going to talk too much because I know you got some other guys, and you're running a little long here. So everybody's trying to make too much out of Jameis Winston's throw to Marquez Callaway. I want to say this. Everybody has praised Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford. You'll get where I'm going with this. They have praised these type of quarterbacks for making decisions like that whenever a play gets made. But when Jameis does it, everybody wants to rip into him and say it's a bad decision. Patrick Mahomes has been getting away with plays like that for the last 2 to 3 seasons. Yet he's been put on his golden pedestal, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. You can hear it in the tone of the play-by-play announcers that they wanted to kill Jameis for making that decision. And I was hot. I was hot when I heard them talk. Like, where's the energy for Patrick Mahomes? Where's the heat for Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady? I don't get it. Yeah, you can say they've earned a little bit of because they're accomplished. They have Super Bowls. But the decision making is still bad. Like Patrick Mahomes, I believe, has 2 interceptions, one of which was a really bad decision late in the second half.
Right. The
first interception, you can say, was on him. You know, he's rolling out of the pocket. He has an open receiver. He's trying to be flashy with the football. There's no reason to make that no-look pass. No reason at all. And look what happened. You throw the ball behind your receiver, high and behind, and Asante Samuel comes up with a clutch play. That's all Patrick Mahomes. But you're not going to see the media talk about that. No, you're going to hear Jameis Winston get slandered day in, day out for a similar type of play just because he's Jameis Winston and he has 30 interceptions tied to his name.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate that.
Yeah. That's why I said on last episode. I said it. I said any other quarterback who didn't have confidence within himself in the way that the media like talks about this dude and don't. It's like usually like if a person is bad or they play bad, they should be given an opportunity to rewrite the narrative. But it seems like the narrative is already on him, and no matter what he does, it can't be shaken. Like they can't shake it. Like he cannot shake it. Like if he does good, nobody pays that much attention to it. But if he plays bad, then all of a sudden, like the footage gonna be out there and everything else. It seems like he's just the poster boy for bad quarterback play. And anytime he has a bad play as a quarterback, they're gonna show it and amplify it and make it bigger than what it is. So that's just what's tied to his name. And I don't know if he can shake that, for the exception of maybe winning a Super Bowl, being in MVP contention. Maybe a comeback player of the year type, role. Maybe they'll leave him alone then. But hey, 8 touchdowns as of right now, total and 2 interceptions. That's a start.
Yeah, I'll leave you guys here with this one take regarding the offensive line. A really big return is coming the way of the New Orleans Saints, guys, and that is offensive lineman Will Clapp. Now, you're probably wondering, how is Will Clapp a big deal? Well, it's simply because Sean Payton, if you remember an interview he did last week or the week before, he states that if Will Clapp was available, he would be the backup center to Eric McCoy. And what that means is Will Clapp assumes the role of starting center until Eric McCoy gets back. And that means Cesar Ruiz can go back to his starting position as right guard, where he put a lot, if not all, of his focus this offseason. And we've seen in preseason, even though take preseason with a grain of salt, Cesar Ruiz looks more confident in his role as a right guard than he is at a center, because he has no experience playing as center in the NFL pro level. And that's a big deal. I mean, it also eliminates Calvin Throckmorton, who played more of a tackle than the outside, who's once again playing the position he's not comfortable with. I'll never understand that with this team, why they do that. But getting Will Clapp back is going to shore up that offensive line. Is going to have a cleaner pocket for Jameis Winston and the running backs to work with, not just in the passing game, but in the running game as well. It's going to open up holes. I'm going to see more production out of the running backs next week against the Giants. More runs between the A gaps, more runs between the B gaps, and that'll be a blessing, especially with Traquan Smith coming back, assuming the number one role as a receiver until Thomas gets back. A lot of key pieces in key areas that are going to give this offense a much-needed rejuvenation that it so desperately needs.
Yeah, they definitely need some help on the offensive side of football. And I just think that it's just the way that the Saints are structured. They try to get those offensive linemen to play multiple positions where in emergency situations they can just come in. But, I mean, look, Cesar Ruiz, he didn't play terrible against New England. In Green Bay, him stepping in, he did a really good job there. So I think, like you say, Will Clapp will come in. They signed a Reister, what I'm saying, like from, the old Kansas City Chiefs center. So, I mean, they got some depth, man. But, they can be able to hold down the fort till Eric McCoy comes back. But, the offensive line losing Teron Armstead, and, they are going to figure it out. I'm pretty sure that Sean Payton and the offensive line coach are going to put on their thinking hats and try to make this team as formidable offensively on the offensive line as they possibly can. But, Aaron, thank you so much for your take, man. I really do appreciate that. Good luck to you on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. Subscribe to the channel, everybody. YouTube.com, search Black and Gold Breakdown Podcast or BNG Breakdown Podcast. Aaron, thank you so much.
I appreciate it, TJ. I'll talk to you sometime on Twitter, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all support him, man. Great mind for the game, great football mind. So y'all support that brother. Speaking of good football minds, I'm gonna go to Hoodie Jube right now, man. Hoodie Jube, he also has a channel on YouTube right now, man. So Hoodie Jube, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for inviting me on here, man.
Thank you so much, man, for being here. Really do appreciate that. What you got for us, man?
Man, I got a little bit on defense and offense I want to talk about, basically. And I'm going to start off with the defense, basically, just to tell everybody. I feel like this is probably one of the best defense I feel like the Saints had in years. And the reason why is because, Lattimore, he's that lockdown corner you have. And I feel like he's so much better with Chris Lazard now. Like Chris Lazard, I feel like he could take anybody out. He could take me, a big man, and tell me, hey, this is how you play cornerback, and I can lock anybody up on the field. Like, that's how I feel with Chris Lazard, But you got Lattimore. You got Bradley Roby, who we traded for, who's going to look great next to him once they get their chemistry together. Paulson Adebo, rookie. I feel like he's one of the steal of the draft. I feel like people were stupid to pass up on him just because he's opt out, for the COVID and stuff. And then don't forget, you still got Ken Crawley. And then if you want to say, your fourth, fifth, best cornerback, you still got Trufant, who used to be a starting cornerback who was really good for the Falcons. So, I mean, the depth is so great there. And then you look at, safeties. You got Marcus Williams, Malcolm Jenkins, C.J. Garner-Johnson. Your linebackers look great. And I tell everybody right now, I've been telling everybody, I can't wait to see what Pete Warner brings to the table.
Yeah.
And we just seen what he did this weekend. And I told everybody, he reminds me a lot of Luke Kuechly, man. The height, the weight, everything about him, his play style, sideline to sideline. And the number one thing, and the reason why I said he looks like Luke Kuechly to me, is what Sean Payton said. I love this man because he is smart on the field. And that's what Luke Kuechly was. He was so smart on the field, he knew what to do. And that's why I really like Pete Warner. And I said, we got a really bright future with him. And then you just look at your D tackles, you know, like I know we don't have Amadu, but hey, you still got Roach, Tuttle, Ringo. I mean, they balling out and they undrafted rookies.
Yeah.
And you see what they're doing with them. And then you go to your edge, like, you know, you still got Cameron Jordan. I feel like he's still going to step it up sometime this season. You know he will. Cameron Jordan ain't going to just be a no-name all season. And Davenport was looking great, but I mean, look where he's at again. Injury, you know. But at least it's not, you know, season ending. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I like Peyton Turner. He's looking like Davenport. As long as he stay healthy, he can be better than Davenport to me. And then, like I said, you still got Grandison. You still got the dude from the Chiefs, Capasino. I mean, you got a really good all-around depth on defense. Yeah. And that's why I really love this defense. And I think they said we're number 5 right now with the rush defense. And I think they said we're number 1 right now in turnovers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't say nothing wrong about this defense. And I feel like this defense is going to carry us this year. They're definitely going to carry us.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely see a difference, Hoodie Jube, in the defense. And when it comes to the secondary, those guys were in position last year, but they didn't come up with the football as much. And that's why I said at the beginning of this show, you have to, acknowledge Chris Richard, because I think that his hands-on approach, his ability to be able to help these guys understand eye discipline and what that is really all about is playing dividends. You know what I'm saying? He has these guys playing with confidence, which makes me believe that he's challenging these guys. He's challenging them to win their matchups. And I think that it's not a coincidence that Marshawn Lattimore is playing some of his best football right now as a corner, you know, when he came on board. So definitely looking forward to that. But before you go, Hoodie Jube, let everybody know, man, what you think about this Giants game. I know it's going to be a very emotional game for the Saints fans. What do you think about this game, man? First game, the Saints coming back to the Superdome. First official, well, not official, home game, but real true home game.
Yes, sir. Well, first thing about the game, man, I'm going to be there next weekend with 3 of my lucky subscribers that won this past Sunday. So congrats to them awesome, 3 subscribers that's going with me. Yeah. But I tell everybody, I feel like this Sunday is going to be a great game. And I feel like I feel like it's going to be like the Packers game, to be honest, because the Giants defense ain't the best defense in the league. Their offense still don't have their chemistry together, even though they added Kenny Golladay and all them. They don't look the same. Barkley don't look the same still after his injury. And I tell everybody, I feel like Jameson is going to say, this is our first home game finally after Hurricane Ida. This is for the city again. They're going to play just like they did against the Packers. And I feel like it can be a blowout game, you know, and I feel like Jameson might have his first 200-yard game this year.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that they're going to be really emotional as a team. And I just think that Jameis Winston, I mean, last time we seen him playing the Superdome, I mean, he lit it up, man. So, I mean, we might be able to see that again, man. But Hoodie Jube, before you go, let everybody know about your channel. Let them know how they can subscribe and everything else, man.
Yeah, everybody, don't be afraid. Hit that subscribe button, you know, hit the likes and stuff and everything. But basically, I do the same thing as Mr. TJ and them. I always watch TJ, Mr. Big Q, and especially Mr. B&G Aaron, who was just on right before me. Y'all are the ones that motivated me to do the live podcast instead of just doing highlight videos. Because I know a lot about football, and I can be on here for 5 hours with you and just talk football all day long. That's just me, I can tell you. But I tell people the reason why I mainly did this channel, it wasn't just for me just to do what I love. It was because I want to get back to people, to subscribers, people who got special needs, who love the sport of football, but they can't play it. And they want to go see the Saints, but their bills are so high, you know, their medical bills and stuff like that. Right. They just can't afford it. So I said, why not do something to give back to people? And people ask me, you know, like, how do you do this? You know, are you bringing them off the money you make? And I said, you got to look, I don't even have 1,000 subscribers, and I'm bringing my first 3 subscribers there because I'm spending my own money out of my pocket. I work 2 jobs, and I'm about to get a 3rd job just to work and just to bring more people. And I told everybody, I want this channel to blow up one day to where once I do hit the 1,000 subscribers, money start rolling in. Eventually, once it blows up so much, I'm going to be buying suites to where I can bring 20 subscribers to each game. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be so much fun. So, I mean, that's basically it about my channel. You know what I'm saying? I just show love to everybody. And when other people like B&G, Mr. Till, the legend, came in not too long ago in my podcast, and I told everybody, hey, go subscribe to them. Everybody shows love, and that's what you got to love about this Who That Nation. Everybody around here shows love, and they're not caring about, like, hey, I don't want you on my damn channel stealing all my people. They don't care, you know? They got people out there like that.
Yeah, I agree, man. Look, I mean, look, there's a forum for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's a lane for everybody. And I just think that, that's how channels grow. You know what I'm saying? That's how friendships and camaraderie grow. And, and why not grow together, and share ideas and share views. Everybody doesn't have the same take on things. You know what I'm saying? We watch the Saints. We're big fans of the team, but we probably, not probably, we definitely look at things differently, and we have our different approaches. But man, y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel, youtube.com. You can search Hoodie Jube. Man, good luck to you, man. Great work over there on that channel. And, I guarantee you it's going to be a matter of time before you get those results, man, that you're looking for, man. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And hopefully one day we can do a big little round table with you with a few of the YouTubers, like on Big Q Day, because that was definitely fun.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it, man. I definitely just hit me up, man. And man, as anybody know, man, if they ask me about being on the channel, I'm there for them, man. So take it easy.
All you too, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, man. I mean, it's all about sharing, man, and and working together. That's what it's all about. We're gonna finish it up. We're gonna finish up these callers. I'm gonna go with Donald D. Donald, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you been, man?
Yeah, what you got for us, man? What are your thoughts on the team?
Well, my thing is, you got to find a way to win. You got to adjust. You got to adapt.
Right.
The coaches that adjust, adapt when that football game. My thing is, Sean Payton did adjust, adapt. I think you have to do. I mean, first of all, the quarterback we had for 15 years was that good. He got old. He got old. He had injuries. He broke up between the. Now we gotta change it up. Now we gotta do it different. And now you see it. First of all, our defense is just that good. My thing is, you keep talking about all. My thing is, you keep talking about all defense. My thing is, if you can't stop the run, then you ain't that good. You just win the mission. We two dimensions. Then we take the ball. Then we get after the quarterback. We're getting the pressures. We're getting the knockdowns. We're getting the sacks. Everything's working out. I think it's really all our people out there. So, you're gonna keep finding a way to win games. And now, I said to him, we're going like coach. And last time I checked, Sean Payton is that good like coach.
Right.
So, like I said, you can't sit and tell me that no New York Giant team is only very struggling. But first of all, they have the quarterback. They got no excuse to be losing like what you know because they can't do everything that you need to win. You just ain't showing up, man. That's all there is to it. Like, yo, man, what the hell are you doing out there? You can't keep throwing the ball over. You can't keep getting fumbled. Right. You look awful out there. Yeah, you don't look good.
Yeah.
You should be disgusted. But with us, I talk about our quarterback. My thing is, James is the only quarterback getting there to hand up to him like that. Last time I checked, Benny Testaverde, but they don't want to talk about him.
Yeah. Hey, Don, I'm having a little bit of an issue hearing you. They got some people in the chat that saying they haven't. I can kind of hear what you're saying, but there's a lot of people that may not be able to hear you. Say something again. Look like you're muted. You're muted right now. Let's see, yeah, you muted yourself.
Hear me now?
I can hear you now. See, you're just fine.
Good. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. No, I'm saying people keep talking about James Winston when he's turnover problems. Then he tested Murphy did the same thing. He started for the other team. He played in the NFL a very long time. Last time I checked.
Yeah.
Why is that a problem for everybody? I just can't give this guy his credit. You're going about your business. See?
Yeah.
They can't do that.
No.
But now the Saints are finding ways to win. I think it's the offense not even together yet. That's the right. Check. If you don't got no Mike Thomas out there, which is predicated on him, of course it's not going to be the same.
Right.
He covers up everything that you got him on the field. Everybody's going to think you got him and Kamara. That makes you think them. I mean, Kamara is doing so much. But I'm like, if Mike Thomas on that field, it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
He opens the doors up for everybody.
Yeah.
So until then, you got to find a way to win. And Tony Dungy, he said best on Sunday night. Said, "Hey, I play with run game and playing great on defense. It works.
Yep.
Continue it.
Yep. That's the key. That's the key to success. That's the key to success and how you. Yeah. Yep. As long as you limit the mistakes, don't turn the ball over, and you play good defense, you'll be there in the end. I mean, that's just the truth, man.
Correct. I mean, when is that formula that now works? I mean, Ray Lewis did it, and he won 2 Super Bowls. Last time I checked.
Yep.
And last time I checked, we have a linebacker on that's playing just like we lose.
Yep.
Sound just like we lose.
Yep.
Just like we lose.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I don't know who. I mean, is he a defensive? He should be a defensive player of your career right now because he's out there knocking hits down right now.
Yeah, definitely, man. He's definitely playing some of his best football, and they need it. You know what I'm saying? They need it.
Not just that. Look at our coaching staff on defense. I have had. This is probably the first time we had a real defensive coach on the coaching staff in a long time.
Right.
Jason adapt.
Yeah.
We have a good linebacker coach, a great defensive line coach. He can be a head coach later.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dan Charles is going to do, but I know Christopher Charles he's going to get another job soon. But until then, I mean, that's if he wants another job.
Yeah.
But, and then Christopher Charles, look what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that secondary? And I'm against Aaron Glenn because Aaron Glenn, he deserved his job when he got Detroit, but he ain't doing that what Christopher Charles doing. I mean, this is like, that is the difference. Our communication in the secondary is just better. And Malcolm Jenkins don't look old, man. He look young.
No, he don't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
You know, he looks really good.
Yeah, he looks like he hasn't, missed a step out there, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah.
And then Marcus Williams, look at what he's doing.
Yeah, high level, playing at a high level right now.
I'm trying to find out where are these people that keep talking about Minnesota. The Minnesota thing happened. It's about what you can do after the Minnesota Miracle.
Yep.
The guys did a hell of a job.
Yep.
My thing is, you got to pay him, man. You can't let him out of the building.
Yeah, I mean, look, they franchise tag him so he won't go anywhere.
No, I know.
I mean, they gonna pay him. Like he's gonna get paid. Like,
because you pay Lattimore. First of all, Lattimore, he earned his money. He showed that he deserves it.
Yeah.
He might be the best cornerback in the National Football League right now.
Yeah, he's playing at a high level, man.
Shit. So Cam Jordan, so far as I'm concerned, he's doing everything right. He's just not getting sacks. So, sooner or later that's gonna happen. And Davenport, he's gonna come back. And Ayamana, wait till he come back.
He comes back after week 6. He comes back after week 6.
And Kwame Alexander, wait till he come back.
Yeah.
Everything's set. We got gap. Look how Kwame was before the season started. We got gap. A true 5. I mean, look what the rookies doing. Paulson Adebo. People keep talking about, and my thing, that dude is long and tall, man. Yeah. People keep talking about that dude is 200. That dude is 215 pounds.
Right.
That dude is all 215, man. That dude is big. I don't know what. I'm like,
big dude.
He can hack. Give me him. That's a rookie. Look what he's doing out there.
Outstanding job. I mean, outstanding job. I mean, look, they got way more than they paid for with this guy. It's all like it's almost like the Trey Hendrickson situation. You know what I'm saying? Trey Hendrickson was a 3rd round pick and led the team in sacks on his way out to Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, every time now and then, you know what I'm saying? If your scout team is doing the right thing, they're going out there and they burn that midnight oil. They find guys that are diamonds in the rough. You know.
I'm saying, you got at the end of the day, they're adjusting, they're adapting, they're finding ways to win different ways, and it's working.
Yep.
Like, what's the problem there? Why is everybody out here moaning, complaining, and whining for? The offense ain't what it was 15 years ago.
That's why they
run the ball, protect the football, run the clock out, play great on defense. That's all I need to hear. Man, I don't hear nothing else. Actually, I want to give a shout out to Teddy Bridgewater and what he's doing in Denver.
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to Teddy B, man.
That man is doing great, man. Yeah. Doing great.
Happy for him.
I'm happy for what he's doing in Denver. I'm happy for Teddy. Yeah. He got a bear up in Carolina last year. I'm disgusted by that.
Yeah, best thing that ever happened to him.
You believe it. And this crazy. They lead the division last time I checked. Look at what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs. They can't stop anybody.
Yep.
And now you see the downfall. What they can't. Now you see that. Now it's not the quarterback. It's your defense.
Yep.
You can't keep doing everything. And now the Chiefs gonna be playing in shootouts now, bro. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's bad.
I don't see it as a coincidence that the Denver Broncos are 3-0 right now for the first time in a while.
In a long time.
They're playing good defense, and they got a quarterback that don't turn the ball over and they run the football.
Correct.
I'm just saying, like,
and then they run the ball.
Exactly.
Come on.
So people that have a problem with that, I mean, look no further.
That's
than
crazy. Are you crazy? Denver, y'all should appreciate this. Yep. I mean, a shootout. They had 0 points. Well, that's the Jets, but the Jets is rebuilt. I give them no credit.
Oh yeah, man. They horrible. They horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a process for them. Yeah. Not for the Patriots. That's just my thing is that you can't have a quarterback doing about 51 times like that.
No.
But my thing is they rebuild more too.
Yep.
My thing is Belichick. He got a big ego, man. He got to drop his ego, and I don't think he's gonna do that.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna take some time, man. Look, I ain't gonna like throw Mac Jones.
No, I'm just saying.
He's a rookie. He's gonna make some mistakes. And
I'm not talking about Mac Jones. I'm talking about Bill Belichick. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
correct.
He made the right decision. He
Correct.
made the right decision getting Mac Jones. I think that he's the answer. But I mean, when you lose James White, man, James White is a running back.
Right,
Catch the ball out of the backfield, run between the tackles.
Yeah, man.
You got that person to help him out. You know what I'm
He
saying?
knocked him out.
Yeah.
Mario knocked him out, man. He knocked him out clearly. Man, he got freaking. He ain't come back.
Yeah.
He ain't come back. Shit. Who else? Forgetting. No, I take that back. The Seattle Seahawks, Pete Carroll. That's the one that won just went down. That's the one to see Russell Wilson. He gonna be out of there because Pete Carroll's the same old thing with them. He don't want to just don't want to adapt. He's stuck in his old ways. He's stuck from what they were 2 years ago. And Legion of Doom. You think Legion of Boom? It can still win. They can't win no more. They're not there anymore. You got to change. And you don't want to do that.
Right. Well, I mean, look, it's rather you got to adapt or you gonna fall. You gonna.
They're gonna be out of there. My thing is Pete Carroll gonna be out of there.
Yeah.
He should be out of there.
Yeah, but Donald, I got a few more calls to.
You do?
Man, but I appreciate your time, man. Appreciate your taking.
Hey, salute the Noise, man. Salute the Noise, man.
Yeah, man. You call back anytime. LD, man. My guy. Take it easy. Yeah, I know we had a little issues like hearing him, man, but he made some good points, man. I'm talking about people with the defense. Like, why are we complaining about something that we wanted for a long time when it comes to the running game and the defense? Giga says, thank you very much for the $5. Says, hey, who that fam? TJ, I don't usually do predictions. I do think the Giants will be walking into a buzzsaw at the Dome coming. Yeah, I mean, do I think they're going to be formidable? They're going to try. You know what I'm saying? Even like with their Saints game when they played the Falcons, I mean, the Falcons were kind of formidable in that game. You know what I'm saying? You had a few trick plays that the Saints did to give them that lead, but do I think the Giants going to try their best? Absolutely. You know, but I just don't think they're going to win. I mean, it's going to be too emotional in that thing. Too emotional. Hoodie Jew, thank you very much for $4.99. Says, thanks again, TJ, man. Love the podcast, brother. Who that? Thank you, man. I appreciate you for being on the show. Thank you for taking the time out. I really do appreciate that. Dwight says, hey, TJ just came in the chat. You bet against the home team this time. Yeah, I did. You know, I did the prediction show, and I thought that the Patriots were going to beat the Saints. You know, I mean, it happens, right? You know what I'm saying? You give your predictions, you know, based on like, you know, certain things that you see and identify. Sometimes you get them right. Sometimes you get them wrong. But I mean, look, I'm glad I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. Anybody get no complaint from me? You know, I'm happy to be wrong. You know, if I say that the Saints aren't going to win a game, but you know, I mean, I did my predictions like during the off season, and you know, I said the Saints going 11-6. You know, I thought that was going to be their record. So, of course, I'm not going to have them winning every game. Sometimes I'm not going to choose them to win, but I'll be glad every time that I'm wrong. We're gonna go to CT Crusher. CT, how you doing, man?
Yo, man, what's good, everybody? What's good with you, T? What's good, man?
I'm doing just fine, man. Just enjoying the show, enjoying all the members of the Who That Nation chime in, like yourself.
Yes,
I really do appreciate your time, man.
Hey, man, I ain't meaning to call looking like I'm in a underground bunker somewhere, like I'm in Benghazi or something. Cause look, I got my weight vest on. I'm trying to go get me a little mile or two. You feel me?
I ain't mad at you, man.
I ain't corresponding from a war zone somewhere. Like, look, man, look, I got two chairs. I got two. Man, no. Hey, I just wanted to address something right fast, bro. I hear some disheartening things sometimes after Jameis. I don't know, bro. It's really hard to articulate because I get so upset. I get really upset with bad plays and the results of them with what people say, not looking at the whole scheme, not looking at what's going on around Jameis, not looking at the play calling, just everything that you know involves us in our game planning and what we're trying to do. And you know, I honestly feel like it was a lot of things that wasn't working out for us in the passing game that haven't been working out with us. I thought, Juwan had a good week 1. I'm not sure why. You never know with matchups in the NFL. You really don't.
Right.
If from week to week stuff like that change, but I thought he'd probably get more separation. He seemed like he kind of have a lack of focus. LeJardan Humphrey, I don't think he get enough separation. Marquez, I think he the number 1 for the time being as far as what defensive coordinators look at him for. So he gets a lot of attention.
Right.
He's not had enough experience yet to try to beat that. Coach Payton ain't had enough experience with him from game to game to try to get him open, to try to, deal with it and sort things out that way. So I think we just take things for face value right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, if Jameis not processing things like number 9 processing it, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, are we just gonna, you know what I'm saying? Are we just gonna be so disconcerted? We gonna be so aggravated at the whole situation? Look at what's going on right now. You know what I mean? For 15 years, we've had one of the most efficient quarterbacks in history, and we don't have that.
Yeah.
You can't. You will never have that production. It could happen, but it's not gonna happen right now. We don't have Michael Thomas. We don't really. If athleticism is one thing, we don't have enough experience in our wide receiver core, I feel like, to get separation, making better breaks on the ball, running better routes, doing those things that from a technique standpoint could make a difference. We have a very young wide receiving core. We have a first-year starter in Jameis Winston who played for 3 different head coaches in Tampa Bay. He played for head coach in Bruce Arians. That's a risk it or the biscuit for the ticket. Nothing else. Never had anybody methodical, cerebral, calculated in his ear. This is his first time. It's basically like trying to speak a new language into somebody, like trying to literally give them a whole new vernacular. And it's gonna take a lot of time. The thing that I get disconcerted, I get discouraged with, what I'm trying to say is, people want to always, they see things, they get pissed off, so they want to talk about Taysom coming in the game. They want to talk about this dual quarterback bullshit. Excuse my language. I don't mean to curse. I really don't, because it's like, bruh, this ain't Oregon. This ain't 2003. Like, this ain't, like, you ain't playing NCAA. Like, when do you ever see a dual quarterback? Like, that's not about to happen at all. But it seemed like people be so easily, I don't know, entertained with that idea. And it just, it makes me upset. It just makes me upset. I really do think that Taysom, if Taysom wasn't going to start, Taysom still was going to get snaps, of course. That's 60-70% of our offensive playbook. You take Taysom off the field, that you basically taking another running back off the field. You're taking a blocker, a H-back. You're taking somebody utility off the field. That's not about to happen. Taysom knew that. Taysom knew that. And I respect Taysom a lot. I love Taysom as a person. Like, he just reminds me of somebody that, I don't know, just a great person all around,
Right.
I of course, being an athlete at that level, you have a confidence in yourself, and you have a faith in yourself that you will put it all on the line for yourself and go for what you need. But he's a team player at the end of the day, and he does what he has to do at the end of the day to help the team, and he's still on the field. A big part of our playbook is him being on the field. I mean, you think about just experience and IQ from our offensive game planning. He's one of the most experienced persons on our side of the field right now. Just from looking at different personnel, different snaps, different teams, especially in the division. Of course, he's gonna be on the field. I didn't like that. I didn't like we was trying to do that zone run, I guess, yesterday a couple times in the first half. I think Coach Payton went back to it late in the game because our offensive line wasn't getting the interior push. Of course, we wanted to run the ball. Of course, we had a lead. We didn't want to start being all pass happy, especially in the offense, like how we was playing passing wise yesterday. Of course. So we were trying to keep it on the ground. I think we had to continuously go back to something. And I think Coach Payton was just like, we're going to do this till it work. Slide people. He got an extra blocker on the side. You put somebody else on the field. And we're going to keep running this thing until this thing pop off. Right. And luckily it did. Yeah. And I think those drag routes and them out routes I seen that Deontay was catching late in the game, that started to open up a little bit. Right. And that helped us out tremendously. Yeah. I kind of wanted to see Deontay come do some jet sweeps or some get off the edge type of stuff to kind of break up the A and the B gap. Me too. To break through. Yeah. I don't understand why, but I think Coach Payton does that for a reason, because I don't think he wants to let people in on his secrets so much, especially so early in the season. I know you can't just hold everything in now. If you don't play well enough, you don't have a rest of the season. But I think to a certain extent, he knows what Deontay can do as far as switching up the game speed, especially if you're not planning for him, from week to week. So I think he kind of excludes him a lot from the offensive game planning. But I thought he would kind of, get on the perimeters a little bit more. But, them drag routes and them nice outs, deep outs, they lovely. That's probably the best throw Jameis been making. Right. These first couple games. That connection right there, I think is kind of seamless. I could bet my money on that if the defense giving it to him. But, luckily – Taysom, that started to work for us, and then Alvin had got that cutback from on the weak side. We got a first down, and we got another one, and then by the time we got to the red zone, it was either the jump pass or we just gonna make something happen, and it was just a gotta have it drive, and we made that happen, and we did that because we're a good football team. That's what good football teams are gonna do. But as a fan base, we need to relax, for real. We got linebackers that's athletic enough to do what we need to do. Of course, we wish Zach Bond could do a little bit more with just from him having one single. What I'm trying to say is Caden Ellis and Pete Werner, they kind of distributed his and shared his snaps to do certain things on the defensive side of the ball yesterday. But of course, we wish Zach Bond could solely do that from but clearly he's really not that good. Not that
that's not his lane. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not his lane.
It's easier for a guy who played that type of position for a majority of his football career to come in and give you the results you want versus a guy that you're actually trying to turn that into. You know what I'm saying? Like him playing weak side linebacker, that's not his calling card. I think Aaron said it like a few calls back. I mean, he used to play with his hand on the ground at Wisconsin. He was the one that was rushing the quarterback. If you look at the Denver Broncos, I think he mentioned Chicago. I mean, those were some great points. Where the linebacker is the one that's rushing the quarterback, I think he would be successful there. I just think that the way that the Saints are structured, you got to be able to play and cover tight ends and running backs, and I just think that's something that he lacks. And but he's a great special teams player. Like that hit that he had when when that returner got past the first lane and he just came up in that thing and rocked him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he good at that now. You know what I'm saying? Good on special teams, but
look, Coach. You're not gonna get me to from east to west and all linear and technique and turning my hips and feet and looking at this and blah blah this and that. But I'm gonna hit you. Right. I'm gonna hit you. I still got that. You feel me? I don't need to do all that other stuff. And special team yesterday, you clearly seen he's a football player. Right. And he's straight. He's a straight up edge rusher. He wants to be violent with his hands. He wants to get home. That was kind of making him cook gourmet when he used to just battering up some chicken and throwing it in a pot. And you was asking him in week 2 to whip it up. Sous chef, and that's not him. I can't be really too mad at him.
Right.
But I was kind of slightly disappointed. But I want Quan to stay healthy. But from a defensive standpoint, we really have all the components of being successful. And I've been feeling like a lot of people for the last day. This is what we wanted. This is what we needed. This is what we gotta have.
Yep.
Offense is fickle.
Yep.
This the NFL.
Right.
Look, a coach in the NFL is like Triple H. I know you watch wrestling. I love wrestling. The cerebral assassin.
Right.
Triple H. Every coach is like that. Every coach got every team got an Owen Hart or a Bret Hart in their office. Yep. They see things that nobody else gonna see.
Right.
Don't matter if the national media not seeing it. It don't matter if the team not seeing it. Don't matter who not seeing it. They mama not seeing it. Mama's not seeing it. Right. They see things from week to week that expose things. So
good point.
Matchups are matchups, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You're not gonna always have your weapons, weaponizing.
Yeah.
Defense is constant. Defense is what keeps people in the game, especially late in the game, especially late in the season, in the playoffs. That's what you lean on, and that's what we got right now. And I just get so upset, man. I hear people they talk about the production of Jameis. We only in week 3. They don't understand how our cornerbacks is working. They don't see how Paulson Adebo is so young and so ready to do what he got to do. He didn't get burnt. Bad play. He gave up to that Kendrick Bourne. Bad play. He was in good position. I mean, it was just one of those, plays you just throw up, man, and just hope that your player cut. It's basically equivalent to what Jameis did in the back of the end zone. Exactly.
In both plays, and both plays just panned out for both quarterbacks.
Yes, I did. Yes, it did.
But CT, I appreciate your take, man. I appreciate, everything that you said. You got an 8-man corner in the chat. Thank you so much, man, for
amen.
Right.
About to put that on right now, cuz. Hey, I love y'all. Who that to everybody, man?
Yeah, man. Shouts out to you, man. You take it easy, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, man. CT crushing, man. I mean, look, he was making some good points, man. He was spitting that fire. You know what I'm saying? I ain't, like this show tonight. I know people, normally see, used to me going back and forth, but I just want to give everybody the opportunity, man. I want to give everybody a moment to get they spill in, talk a little bit. Y'all hear from me, like y'all heard me for 799 episodes. 799 episodes. This is episode number 800. 800 episodes of the State of the Saints podcast. So I just want to make sure everybody just get there, spill in. But finally, the last caller on the podcast, we're going to go to MOD. MOD, how you doing?
What's going on, man? The Saints Uptown.
What's going on, man?
The Minister of Defense for the Who Dat Nation.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. You know what I want to reference back, bro? Because the last time we interact, bro, it kind of left on a little not such a great note that time. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And it was, and for the people in the chat, we was not beefing. It was just some Saints talk. Okay, mm-hmm. I love this brother. Okay, just to let people know, bro. Thinking back now, bro. Are you now happy that we did not get Richard Sherman?
Am I happy that we didn't get Richard Sherman?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have like any type of reservations about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he would have been beneficial. Yeah. But
also,
like,
I want to let people know too, right? I'm sorry, TJ.
No, go ahead.
I'm also, right, a part of the WDN chat line. Mm-hmm. You understand? Everybody knows, holla at me, man. WDN chat line. People should know you've been on the show before. And
right.
There's gangs of people in the chat that knows about our podcast as well. Shout out to CB, WD, and Carly, my co-host. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to tell you, man, at the time, man, we shouldn't even panic, man, and make an irrational decision, man, and getting a cat like him, to come in. You understand? I think I looked at a ton of tape from Paulson Adebo, and I like what I saw from him. And I like the fact that the Saints went out there and did their due diligence. They traded for Bradley Roby. You know, they bought in Desmond Trufant. Also, with the addition of Chris Richard, he's now making King Crawley, I meant to say, he's making him look like a serviceable cornerback as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that would be instrumental because I'm one of the first guys around here that was saying that, you know, I did not like Aaron Glenn as a defensive back coach, you know, because all of our defensive backs, you know, is getting beat. When your corners is getting beat and they're getting beat in the same way all the time, that's coaching. That is coaching, you know. And all of our corners, when they used to get beat, they used to get beat in the same way.
Right.
And you can see, right, since we had Paulson Adebo is a rookie. Ain't nothing went over Paulson Adebo head all season.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, when we had the last cat around, stuff was going over people's head like it was bombs over Baghdad. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? All I was just telling you at the time, TJ, just be patient, bro. You don't need to make that irrational decision and bringing him in. And if you remember at that time when I was telling you that, about 2 weeks later, Richard Sherman went to jail for acting fool outside the house, you know, of his people, his laws. You understand? About 2 weeks later, that happened.
Right.
You were saying about how it would be beneficial if we would bring him in for his leadership. I also told you that was a questionable thing as well, as far as his leadership is concerned. And then no later than maybe 2 weeks later, he get caught acting a damn fool outside his in-laws' house. You see what I'm saying? I didn't think that we needed him for leadership anyway, due to the fact that we have Malcolm Jenkins, which is a tremendous leader. He's not known as a good leader on your football team. He's also known as a great leader in the National Football League. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we also have Mario Davis. Not to mention that we have Cam Jordan as well. Cam Jordan may clown, he may do all little funny, quirky stuff, right? But he demonstrates a tremendous amount of leadership. We have never heard anything about him, any off-the-field incidents or anything of that nature. You understand? That's why I say just have a little patience, bro. And I like the fact that patience has paid off well. You know, this team is fabulous on defense right now. I think we have the best defense in the league right now. If you line us up, you know, on every level. I like the way they're playing. I don't really want to get into because a lot of the cats that was before me said, you know, a whole lot of stuff that I might have wanted to say. And those are some fabulous callers, by the way, too, TJ.
Yeah, man, they do a good job here, man.
You know, that was some fabulous callers. Then the last cat that just went off, man, he was very, very knowledgeable. I really, really enjoyed his call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that that we're doing a good job. Just like I reiterated on our show, I meant to say, that just have patience. You know, I told the people that listen to our podcast, I won't make a fair evaluation of this team until after week 6. I figure by week 6, if we ain't got our stuff together, or whatever team that we look like at week 6 is going to be demonstrate what this team is going to look like throughout the course of the rest of the season.
Right.
And when I was telling you about this, right, you know what I'm saying? And because the cornerback position really became really personal to me, bro. Because I've been a Saints fan for a very, very long time. And the last cornerback I knew that we had that went to the Pro Bowl, I think, was Toy Cook.
Right.
And the last cornerback that I knew that we had that was even pro-worthy was Eric Allen. You understand? And that was some cat that we didn't even draft. We got him as a free agent when he came from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
And I heard y'all talking about coaching staff. And yeah, I think this is probably the best coaching staff that we had assembled in a while. Because you got to remember that underneath Jim Mora, we had a hell of a defensive coaching staff. We had Steve Sitwell, we had Dom Capers,
yep.
And we had what's Denver's coach name?
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio. He was on our coaching staff as well.
Right.
And so this is one of the better coaching staffs on the defensive side of the ball that we have assembled in a long time.
Right.
And it's showing, the results are showing right now.
Yeah.
The defense is on fire right now.
Yep.
Just let the defense hold us down, Saints fans. Listen to the MOD. Just let the defense hold us down for right now. Our offense is going to catch up. Everything is new. James is new. The scheme is new. We got new players. We're doing everything different. And please, this is what I want to urge Saints fans to do, because this is what aggravates me the most, TJ. Stop whenever James have a bad play. Whenever things don't quite look like it looked the last 15 to 16 years, we can't keep going reverting back to the days when Drew Brees was here.
I agree.
We got to let it go, bro.
It's hard to. It's hard to let that kind of stuff go. I mean, look, being from New Orleans, being from Louisiana, I say this all the time. Like, it's just a bunch of traditionalists, you know what I'm saying? And we love like nostalgia, you know what I'm saying? And if things aren't the same way that they always are, people have a way of wondering why it's not the same way. It's like we have a hard time with change. And all change, you know what I'm saying, don't mean like it may look different, but that don't mean that it's bad. Like I just think that people just have this mind frame of between what they saw out of Drew Brees for 15 years. Then you go like and hear those talking heads on the national media tell you this is what a good quarterback play is supposed to look like. This is what a good football team is supposed to look like. Throwing 300 plus yards, 60-yard bombs down the field. Like they feel like that is what it takes in order to have a successful franchise. And that's not always the case. There's different ways to be successful. You have, the Kansas City Chiefs who can throw the ball 60 yards with Mahomes. Then you have a team like the Tennessee Titans who have a battering ram and Derrick Henry that can get you 100 yards a game, and they can play, pretty okay defense and get the heck up out of there with a victory. So there's that saying, there's different ways to skin a cat here. It don't mean that it's just one set way to be a successful franchise. And I think that the Saints, looking at what we know over the last couple of years, we've needed a defense like this to be able to create stops, to be able to, like, in late in games, can count on them to be like, okay, if an offense have the ball last on the last drive, they can make a stop. Just like they did last week. Even though they had the lead, they could have easily said, oh, man, look, it's garbage time. But they were a very prideful bunch, and they didn't want them to go into the end zone on the final drive. So if you have that, no matter what's going on offensively, it's going to be fixed because you have one of the best innovators of the offense in Sean Payton in football. So it's eventually going to get fixed.
You see, people, this is the point I'm trying to make, right? Because I see some people may be misunderstanding the point. Yes, we do. We can take and we can remember Brees. We can remember Brees for all the wonderful things that he did.
Right.
But we should not be comparing every little thing that Jameis Winston do or any quarterback that come there after. They shouldn't have to live underneath that shadow like that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
You're gonna have to eventually let it go, bro, because in certain situations and stuff, it ain't gonna be the way that stuff went with Brees sometimes.
Right.
You understand? Now, either you're gonna deal with that or you're gonna not deal with that. You understand? It's gonna have you up at night. But that's all I really want to say, brother. Look, man, because I see you've been on for quite some time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was good that you did come on and you gave people a chance to come on. That's all I really wanted to say, about all those issues and stuff, man. But I appreciate you, man. You keep doing your thing. You understand? Keep doing your thing. I like what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing, TJ.
And thank you, man, for your take, man, and your knowledge, of the game, of Saints football. and sharing it with, you know what I'm saying, sharing it with the State of the Saints podcast audience, man. I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat that, you know you from the Who Dat Nation chat line, you know, and, you know, I appreciate you bringing that wisdom over here to this channel, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. All right, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Who that, baby?
Who that? Take care. Yeah, man. Shouts out to MOD. You know, like that's, you know, he made some very good points. You know what I'm saying? He made some really good points, you know, about having patience, about being able to, just, you know, understand that the team is going to look, going to look different. You know, and we have to understand that it's going to take some time for us to, like, really, you know what I'm saying, get going. But the good thing about all of this is that the Saints are, you know, finding ways to win, you know what I'm saying, and overcoming the adversities that they have, between being displaced due to Ida, dealing with coaches being out, dealing with some of their key players defensively missing games, you know what I'm saying, all these different things going on and on. They still are finding ways to be a successful team, and that's you know, a testament to the coaching staff, the players, you know, and, you know, organization as a whole. Hoodie Jupe, thank you for the 199, says, I know MOD. We talked about Cesar Ruiz on the Who Dat Nation chat line. Yeah, you know, we talked a little bit. You know, I think I talked about Richard Sherman. There was during the time I felt like Richard Sherman would be a good fit for the Saints, and honestly, it didn't have anything to do about Paulson Adebo, because I mean, I watched this dude when he was at Stanford, but, you know, I know that some coaches don't want to put, like, those rookies out there right away. And at the time, you know what I'm saying, we really did not know what we actually had, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that maybe Richard Sherman would be able to add to what the Saints actually have. And I honestly, look, if the Saints were to sign Richard Sherman today, I feel like they still would be helpful in you know what I'm saying, in certain ways, even though they don't need him. You know, I still feel that way, you know, and I still feel like, you know, he's still a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, look, this is the way I feel about it. Guys gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys are gonna do, like, crazy stuff at times. Like, I look at Marshawn Lattimore, for example, like him getting in trouble in the offseason with the whole gun situation. Now, I don't feel like he's not a good leader or he's not a good player based on that. You know, I just think that it was just not the right decision. I don't know what's going on with Richard Sherman as far as what was going on in his personal life, but I just think that the guy is just so knowledgeable, and, you know what I'm saying, he'll be able to, you know, kind of help out and help people see things certain ways. I really feel like veteran leadership combined with young players, it helps those young players live out their full potential. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that Malcolm Jenkins comes along, and then over the last couple of years, we see Marcus Williams playing some of his best football at safety. You know, I think that those leaders come in, they hold these young players accountable. Those young players respect those guys because they've been there, they've done that, they won the biggest games. They, you know what I'm saying, played on a high level. And I just think that it's just beneficial, you know. But all in all, you know what I'm saying, that's not, you know, what definitely went my heel to down. You know what I'm saying? At the time, would I want him on the team? Absolutely. But the fact that the Saints didn't get him, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel any which way, because I knew Paulson Adebo was going to be good. I didn't think he was going to catch on as fast. I knew he was really knowledgeable. I knew he was smart, the way he was, you know, reading the X's and O's and dissecting plays when he was talking his press conferences and how confident he was on draft night. I said, man, they got themselves something special there. Show your appreciation for all the work that TJ does. Gigatis, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. And also all the hard work that everybody else does, like MOD and, you know, Who Dat Nation chat line, Hoodie Jewel, you know, Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. So many others out here that's working hard and dedicating themselves to Saints football and giving you all the best content possible. But tomorrow on the State of the Saints podcast, I will have a special guest. Mike Detillier will be on the State of the Saints podcast on tomorrow, talking about Saints football. Definitely going to be asking them about the offensive line. Anybody that follows Mike Detillier knows he loves the offensive line. So it'll be great to get his take about the Saints offensive line and so many other situations going on with the team. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. I know it's a little bit of a longer show, but look, this show was for everybody out there. This is show number 800. For 800 episodes, you all have stood by me, supported me, showed love to me, and I wanted to make sure I gave y'all time. I didn't try to rush anybody off. And I know some people probably got frustrated with that, but I just want to let everybody get their moment, their time, and let them know that I appreciate their take, because you can be doing so many other things with your time, looking at so many other channels. You can reach out to so many other people that do these type of platforms. So thank you all so much for your love, and I really do appreciate that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Much love to you all. Have a good morning, noon, night, whenever you're checking out this podcast. And like always, all I got to say is